For any keyboard and mouse enthusiast or anyone who plays keyboard and mouse, we all know the market is flooded with options, different weights, shapes, switches, sensors, etc. So finding your true endgame can pretty much feel impossible. But this mouse, this changed everything for me. So 10 months ago, I took the gamble. The AliExpress listing didn't really have any clear images and the reviews were kind of vague, and YouTube opinions were kind of mixed too. So I didn't know if it was going to be a unique item or a flawed Lamzio Atlantis clone. When it arrived, I was completely blown away. The shape was perfect, a mix of the OP18K and I'd say the Pulsar X2H. And because I had massive hands, it fit really ideally. They did advertise a weight of 36 grams, but I'd say it was a bit closer to 40. A full shell with no holes, it was mind-blowing. It achieved the weight of like a final mouse, while feeling solid like a Pulsar X2. Hardware-wise, it felt insane. Did I really just buy a perfect mouse for just £50? Well, not quite. The finish was nice, but it was a magnet for fingerprints and any sort of moisture you had in your hand. The software also required a driver installation, which I know can be a red flag for some of us. But on the flip side, with 8K polling and a really nice UI, it was shaping up to be an absolute beast. In a game like the finals, your mouse isn't just an accessory, it's your lifeline. The pace is super relentless and it forces you to track targets flying through the air or flick to enemies in tight corners. This is especially true for my playstyle as a light class. With barely any health, if you're not faster and more accurate than your opponent, you're basically finished. I've always been a movement over aim player and my raw aim isn't the best, so I survive by making constant micro adjustments to stay on my target. This is where the mouse truly shone. It allowed me to make those corrections effortlessly, precise, fluid, and had zero resistance. The difference in feel and performance compared to the bulkier Canon mice, like a full-size Razer Viper or Logitech, it was truly insane and it blew my mind. Cool, let's talk about my grip. I'd call it an 80-20 hybrid, mostly claw with a little bit of fingertip. As I mentioned, my aim is heavily dependent on little micro adjustments. Weapons like the M11 in the finals, that gun is the epitome of fire rate and it needs you to stay on your target all the time while the gun is constantly kicking upwards. With the Skyrox, weight isn't an issue and the shape makes it possible. That lightweight design basically allows me to make even the smallest movements so effortlessly. For slower modes like ranked, I'd switch to medium and my gun of choice would be the AK. It's all about precision here, where every bullet counts, and here the Skyrox has its upsides and downsides. It's super responsive, so if I have shaky aim, it can be at my cost and I'll be making micro adjustments without noticing. The finals isn't the only game I play, and the benefits of the Skyrox can be used in games like Battlefield 6, which is a super fun game, and pulling crack plays with multi-kills is super rewarding, but it's tougher than you'd think. This game has such fast TTK that it can be done easier than games like Black Ops 7 and Apex Legends, but that also means that you could be a victim of that. The Skyrox does allow me to move the mouse with such speed without fatigue or effort, and make these flicks with guns that are fully auto. As a cloth pad user, good skates are essential. I personally prefer something more speedy with less control, just to complement the Skyrox's lightweight design. This is where the Ultra Glides come in, and I'll do a separate video on them. A huge plus is that the Skyrox comes skateless out the box, and they encourage you and let you install your own skates, while including the stock set in the box. Popping on the Ultra Silence was the final piece of the puzzle for me. It really allowed the mouse to be super fast and super lightweight. Even after 10 months, this mouse still continues to amaze me. For the performance it delivers, that £50 price tag feels like an absolute steal, and I'd recommend it to anyone in a heartbeat.